Hey ladies, I wanted to come to you today to talk a little bit about exercise and grief and how they work together or can work together instead of against each other. I wanted to share how I've been exercising or not exercising and get vulnerable with y'all, and also share with you what's been working for me. So if you hop on, let me know you can hear me, and say hello, and we'll get started. So for those of you who don't know me, if you've never met me before, I'm Molly. I am a health coach and also a grief mentor, and I have a cat that apparently decided he doesn't want to sit with me anymore. This is my snuggle bug. I'm a health coach and a grief mentor, and I changed my focus when after losing our daughter, after she died, we were pretty much at rock bottom, obviously, and I was not coaching at all, and I wasn't taking care of myself. And when I finally started wanting to learn how I could get back into taking care of myself, I couldn't find what I was looking for. So I decided that I was going to become what I was looking for so that I could reach out to other women and help them find the way that I have found and find what has worked for me to share, that maybe it could be what works for you. And that is where this group came about. That is where this all started, and why you're here with me now is because I made the decision that I would exclusively only have clients who were also grieving women, as far as when I coach women through self-care and whatever other health goals they're working on. So that's just a little bit about me. Okay, so I believe in listening to your body and not fighting against your body. And this is something that I've always believed, but more so when you're grieving and you already feel like you're fighting to be normal again, right? And that can kind of come into play if you, like me, were someone who exercised all the time. At the time, I was working out 5 to 6 days a week. I was going to boot camp classes, and I was killing myself because I had a goal that before my 40th birthday, I wanted to be like ripped, basically. I was going to show that you could be fit at 40 and kind of like prove myself, because as you know, as a health coach, like I wanted it to be kind of part of my story, right? Well, obviously none of that mattered. After our daughter died, none of that mattered at all, because who cares, right? Hey, Laura, let me know if you can hear me. So I had pushed myself too far, too hard with working out. And I did not know at the time that I had adrenal fatigue. And if you're not familiar with adrenal fatigue and what it is and everything, let me know. And I can go a little bit more into that. But essentially, stress on your body causes your adrenals to shut down. Causes your body to shut down. Cortisol levels are out of whack when they're supposed to be high, so that you can have the energy to do what you want to do during the day. They're actually low. And whenever you're supposed to be falling asleep and your cortisol levels are supposed to go low, they're going high and you can't sleep. So you're backwards. You're completely mixed up. And stress causes it, and then also continues to make it worse. And I was making it worse by working out too much. But after my daughter died, I had to stop, like everything. I stopped everything. I didn't work out at all. I had to restore my energy. I had to preserve my energy. I had to relearn what my body could and could not do. But I went too far the other way. So this is where I'm being vulnerable with y'all and honest that I'm not perfect. And I hope that no one here thinks that I am, or thinks you could never do what I do or be like me because you feel like you can't achieve perfection. I am in no way, shape, or form perfect, and I don't teach perfection because it's not attainable. Perfection is paralyzing, and it's unhealthy in and of itself, because there's no such thing as perfect, right? It's just an unattainable goal that a lot of times we use as an excuse not to even start. So I went completely the opposite, of working out 5 and 6 days a week to not working out at all. Completely became a couch potato, right? Which is to be expected and is perfectly, perfectly acceptable when that's what you need. And like I said, listening to your body, that's what you need. But when I went too far the other way, that's when like the pounds started to creep back on, because I wasn't paying attention to eating the times of day that I wanted to, that I had been used to eating, spreading my meals out properly, getting in my protein and all of that. And then I was not sleeping well, and I wasn't moving my body at all. So what I've learned, so it does take some movement to create energy. So at the time I was preserving my energy, right? Because I was protecting myself, I was resting, I was recuperating. But at some point, there's a point where I sort of went too far. Instead of slowly working my way back into working out again, then I went too far the other way and stopped working out completely. And so now my lack of energy was only getting worse, because it does take some exercise to create energy. And I'm going to get into what kind of exercise I prefer and I recommend, and in just a second. Sorry, I lost my track of thought. If you're feeling what I'm talking about, if you get this, give me a comment, give me a like, let me know that you are feeling it, and maybe if this sounds familiar. So, as a coach, obviously I can tell you what to do, but if I'm not doing it, I'm not being authentic, right? If I'm not at least putting the effort in myself, I'm not being authentic. So I had to come to a place where I basically just made the decision, I'm going to start doing something. So I'm going to tell you a little sciencey stuff, just a little bit of sciencey stuff before I get into telling you the activities that I prefer. So we know that exercise releases endorphins and serotonin. And endorphins, like, they reduce pain and make you feel good. Serotonin is the thing that your brain releases when you eat food or drink alcohol or do drugs or exercise. And of those four things, we know that eating an entire cake, yeah, it might release that serotonin in that moment, but you're not going to feel well later. And drugs and alcohol are damaging to your body. And we know those are dangerous paths to go down. And exercise, obviously, I know people who become addicted to exercise, and I'm not talking about that, but I am talking about doing exercise that releases those endorphins and serotonin to help you feel good and to get the result that we want without going too extreme. So even though we know it's what we should do, right, we don't always do it. Obviously, we don't always do what's best for us, even if we know what's best for us, right? So as grieving women, what do we do, right? What do? We know we should exercise, but we don't feel like it. We just want to sit on the couch. What do? How do we get started? And I talk about this a lot, about creating habits when it comes to changing how we eat and changing what we believe and our thought patterns and our lifestyle. This is part of it, and it's baby steps. But we're already, we already feel like poo most of the time anyway. So we're already kind of fighting an uphill battle, right? But we need that serotonin fix. We need that endorphin fix. We need to feel good. It's something we can have and we want to feel. So how do we do it? We can get that boost, with exercise. So I've struggled, and maybe this sounds familiar to you too. I've struggled with an all or nothing mentality. If I can't eat perfectly all day today, then I'm not even going to try to eat one good meal. If I can't exercise at a certain time, for a certain length of time in a certain way, then I'm not going to do anything at all, right? So that, going back to that perfectionism, perfectionism can be paralyzing, right? So struggling with that, like that's something that, a belief that we have to overcome, in addition to all the other things that we, have to shift belief in. Okay, so research shows that moderate 20 to 30 minute exercise a day can boost your mood better than a killer workout. So say that you were, if you liked going to the gym and you liked doing a really killer, like run on the treadmill and sweat your brains out, or lift heavy weights, doing CrossFit and HIIT workouts and things like that, those actually, especially like I said, for me, for suffering from adrenal fatigue, were depleting. It took all day to recover. You come home and you crash on the couch because you depleted all of your energy with that killer workout. But a moderate 20 to 30 minute exercise, think walking, right? Think walking your dog, or walking around the block, just something that simple. It actually has a better response of boosting your serotonin and your endorphins than the crazy killer workout. My dog is scratching her back. I hope you can, I don't know if you can hear her or not, but she is scratching her back on the couch. Delilah. Story of my life. Okay, so, and that's more achievable and less stress on your body, especially like I said, if you may or may not know if you're struggling from adrenal fatigue. You may not be, but I know that for me personally, so this is less stressful on my body. Now she's drinking water because I chose to come out here and sit where I could get some sunshine. Okay, so there's something called NEAT, N-E-A-T, and it's non-exercise activity thermogenesis. And so what it is it's all the things that you do throughout the day that are not considered exercise, but they burn calories. So what studies have shown that throughout your day, the NEAT activities that you do actually burn more calories combined than one killer workout. So say you were going to the gym a couple times a week or 3 times a week, but then you don't do much else. Like you have a sedentary job, you come home and you're sedentary, like the only activity you do is your killer workout, and you think that's supposed to be enough, right? But the things that you do besides that actually count for more calorie burn. So in addition to being mood lifting and giving you the serotonin fix, it's also going to give you a more overall calorie burn, and that's a pretty good win-win. It's easier on your body, especially if you're already stressed or you already have inflammation. Again, I also had struggled with an autoimmune disorder, which all autoimmune disorders are inflammation of some kind. Excuse me. So if you're already inflamed and you're already struggling in that way, then you're just adding inflammation to your body when you do too stressful of hard workouts. So NEAT activities are not stressful. They don't raise your heart rate, and so they don't make you feel like you're gonna pass out. Okay, so things that are NEAT activities, and I know this sounds too simple, but it is this simple. NEAT activities are like, okay, so say you work at a desk, you sit at a desk all day. Set a timer every 45 minutes to an hour and get up for 10 minutes and do some squats and do some push-ups and take a walk and drink some water. Just a little bit of activity all day long. Stand rather than sit as much as possible. Counting your steps. So we're going old school. Remember when they first came out with the little clicky pedometers, like you could get them in a cereal box or something. Now they have all these fancier ways to monitor it, but actually counting your steps, getting that minimum 10,000 steps a day, and so being intentional about it. So you're watching it all day, so you've got a goal, and so it keeps you focused on it. Just like having your big bottle of water keeps you focused on it, so you don't forget that it's there and you need to finish it. You've got your little pedometer, and it's telling you, okay, you've only hit 5,000 steps today, and it's already noon. You know, you got to figure out where you're going to walk, where you're going to get your steps in. And we know things like parking farther away from the building, taking the stairs as much as possible. I mean, these sound so simple and little, but they add up. Cleaning your house As much as I don't like to clean house, it's a really good workout, especially if you throw on some music and dance around. And there are times when you're like, I don't want to feel like that. Like, I don't want to dance, and I don't want to, like, put myself in a good mood. But if you just do it anyway, it's going to help you feel better, right? We know that music has a mood-lifting effect, and kind of can force us out of that sour mood that we might be in. So those are the things that I recommend. Those are my choices of throughout the day, making sure that I'm getting in these activities. Going for a walk every morning, and I love yoga. And so I found a way to do yoga to continue to increase my muscle mass, so it didn't like dwindle away, and like my booty, like all the squats I had done, like now my booty's flat again. Like I got to get back into something to shape it up again. Yoga was the thing for me. And so if you want to follow the person that I found that I really loved the most, there's tons of free videos on YouTube. My favorite person is, her name is Adrienne. It's Yoga with Adrienne. And she has a bajillion kinds of yoga. So you could do gentle yoga, you could do yoga for strength, yoga for core. Like you can just pick the yoga that you want to do that day. And she's just, it's easy to follow. She's easy to follow. Some other yoga instructors I have found were not so easy to follow, or they went too fast through the sequence, and I couldn't keep up. This has been something that not only do I enjoy it because it helps me strengthen myself, but it also helps me to calm down my monkey mind, because I have to focus on my balance, I have to concentrate on my breathing, and I have to pay attention to my posture and my poses, that my brain can't spin off into all of the million directions it's wanting to go. So that's another benefit to it as well. Let me know if there's specific exercises that you like, workouts that you do that you have found to be helpful. If this sounds, helpful at all, give me some hearts, give me some love, give me a comment. Let me know if you watch the replay what you think. And if you want to chat with me about possibly working together, if you feel like you are ready to commit to changing your lifestyle, you're ready to commit to working on your beliefs and creating the peace that you want in your life, creating the energy that you want in your life, creating the health that you want. If you're ready for that, then I'll put the link for my calendar after this video ends. I'll put the link for my calendar in the description, and you can click on it and pick a time that you want to connect, and we can talk and see if we are a good fit to work together. Because I believe that you are listening to this for a reason, you're watching me for a reason, you connected to me for a reason, and if you're ready, then I think that we are meant to work together and help you get unstuck and get started on a healing journey for you. So that's all I have for y'all today, and I love y'all so very much, and I appreciate you giving me your time today. And let me know, was it worth it to me to sit here by the window and have this lovely natural light whenever my dog is carrying on, the cat's in my lap, and now the chickens are walking around the house because they hear me in here, and so the roosters are crowing. Feels like it was a little bit more distracting. I think I might want to go hide in my room again like I usually do, because there's a lot going on around here and it keeps distracting me. But let me know, did it matter to you? I don't know. I love y'all. Talk to you later. Bye.